Sangha with great virtues, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering, attain bliss and birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, duy thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sinh, tình kiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạt lạc, bất chướng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Nan Thô Su Che Do Ye A La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đê Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jie wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen ge shou chu yan jie ru lai zhe shu yi. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Shenhua, Venerable Skhandhas, all good no advisors of Mitofo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, Sư Phụ Sang Rần, Cơ Vị Sân Rần, Cơ Vị Sang Sư Sư, Mỹ Tổ Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa, kính thưa quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Mỹ Tổ Phật. Looks like my file hasn't finished uploading yet. It's okay. It's up to date. Thank you. Well, I can use the old version. It's no big deal. Okay, we should be on slide number 52. We gathered in Rosemead. Today is the 23rd of November 2014 to continue our discussion of the Heart Sutra. The newly uploaded slide, you should be on number 52. We are in the midst of discussing the makeup of the ego. Mình mấy tuần này mình giảng về những cái thành phần của cái bản ngã. Okay, the ego. What is the ego? We talked about that. Only in Buddhism do we have a clear definition of what the ego consists of. Trên Phật giáo mới có cái sự mô tả rất là chính xác về những cái thành phần của bản ngã. Okay, this is only possible because of the profound wisdom of the Buddha. Cái này, cái sự tri kiến này đó, nó chỉ có thể thực hiện bởi cái trí huệ của Đức Phật. Only the Buddha can see it. Okay, this clearly, and that's why it is a not very well understood concept in Buddhism. Vì Đức Phật cần cái trí huệ thâm sâu, Đức Phật mới thấy được những cái thành phần bản ngã này. Thành ra thiệt ra bên Phật giáo cái sự tri kiến, cái hiểu biết về cái ngũ uẩn nó rất là nông cạn. Okay, it turns out that many of us Skhandhas, monks and nuns, we don't understand these concepts of five skhandhas that well, to tell you the truth. Bởi vậy, ngay những cái người thầy cô theo thầy thấy là đại đa số đều không hiểu được cái quan niệm của cái ngũ uẩn là cái gì nữa luôn. Okay. And I myself struggle with this concept. I'm still struggling with this concept because surely there's certain aspects of it I'm learning more as I continue my practice. Thực ra chính cái bản thân thầy có cũng có những cái phần, những cái phần mà thầy vẫn chưa hiểu, và càng ngày càng nhờ tu hành càng ngày càng hiểu thêm. Okay. So to as a reminder for all of you and the newcomers who are here today, the ego, the self consists of 5 layers. Thầy nhắc lại cho những người, cho quý vị nhớ lại và những người mới tới ngày hôm nay là cái ngã nó có 5 cái thành phần, 5 cái lớp. Not only five layers, but each layer is actually multiple layers within themselves. Và ngay từng cái lớp đó, mỗi cái lớp đó mỗi cái lớp nó được cấu tạo by rất nhiều cái tầng lớp. And that's why the ego the self is a very difficult animal to dissect and to understand. Bởi vậy cái bản ngã nó rất khó mà hiểu được. Okay, so the 5 components of the egos are, phải năm cái thành phần của cái bản ngã là gì? At the outer layer is the form, skhandha. Cái lớp ở ngoài đầu tiên hết á là cái lớp của cái sắc uẩn. The form skhandha is something that is anything that we perceive that has a form, has a shape. That can obstruct, casts a shadow, has a sense of solidity. That's a form. Okay? That form skhandha is the outer layer of the ego. It perceives itself as having a body, and then perceives everyone as having a body. Okay? Thành cái sắc uẩn là cái lớp ở ngoài đầu tiên hết, mà ai cũng có hết. Là quý vị thấy cái thân của mình và quý vị thấy cái thân của chúng sanh. You see yourself having an ego having a body, a substance. Cái ngã nó có một cái sự thật. Okay? You can see, you can perceive, you can feel, you can see the shape, you can look at yourself in the mirror. That's part of your ego. Okay? Quý vị thấy được mình soi gương, thấy được thấy cái bóng của mình. Okay? That's the ego. It says, me has a form. Okay? Thành cái ngã mình nó có một cái thể, có một cái hình tướng. It's a certain shape, a certain color. Okay? And that's the nature of the perception of the ego. The next layer, cái lớp thứ nhì, is a layer of what? Feeling. Lớp thứ nhì, lớp ở trong. So outer layer is form, inner layer is feeling. Lớp ở trong một lớp nữa là cái thọ. Meaning that we are creatures of feelings. Có nghĩa là chúng ta đều có cái cảm thọ, có cái cảm tưởng. Okay? You go through all day seeking pleasant feelings and avoiding unpleasant feelings, right? When it's boring, when you feel sleepy, I don't want it, okay? When it's pleasant, like a good meal, you want it, okay? That's the nature of feelings. We always, it's a tug of war inside of us. When it's pleasant, we want more of it. When it's unpleasant, we reject it. So there's always tension inside of us. You notice that? Huh? You're always seeking pleasant feelings and you're afraid of unpleasant feelings. You think it's too much suffering. Okay? Cái lớp thứ nhì là cái lớp của cái thọ. Thọ là những cái cảm thọ của mình. Mình cả ngày mình đi truy cầu những cái cảm giác, cái cảm giác nó thoải mái, nó sung sướng. Rồi ngược lại chúng ta lại từ bỏ, bác bỏ những cái cảm giác nó khó chịu, nó đau đớn. Okay? Nên cả ngày chúng ta làm như vậy. This is what we do all day. Okay? Experience these feelings. The cause what? Thành mỗi ngày, cả ngày chúng ta đó là đang cảm giác những cái cảm tưởng này, hoặc là sướng hoặc là khổ. Để gì xảy ra? What happens when you have those feelings? Huh?
Pleasure or pain.
What?
Pleasure or pain.
Pleasure or pain? The feelings of pleasure or pain. Cả ngày chúng ta đã, the self experiences pain or pleasure. Okay? Thành cả ngày chúng ta, cái ngã chúng ta nó có những cái kinh nghiệm hoặc là sung sướng hoặc là nó khó chịu. This is what you experience all day. Cả ngày mình làm như vậy, right? Agree, disagree? Yes? Okay. What happens to us when you feel good or we feel bad? Khi mà chúng ta đang có cái cảm giác sung sướng hoặc cảm giác khổ, chuyện gì xảy ra? What happens? Does anyone know? He seeks after the good feelings and he rejects the bad feelings. Mình muốn tìm những cảm giác sướng và muốn bác bỏ những cảm giác xấu. In other words, what does that mean? Nghĩa là sao? You're confused. Very good. So Korean. Có người nói là quý vị mê muội. Cái là quá đại hàng. Too profound for me. Okay? What happens? You're attached. Chấp trước. What happens? When you experience bad feelings or good feelings, this is what happens. You think. Why do you think? You always thinking all day long. Quý vị biết không? Khi quý vị đang có cái cảm giác sung sướng hoặc là cảm giác đau đớn khó chịu thì quý vị tự động sẽ suy nghĩ. Tại sao suy nghĩ? Quý vị có thấy tại sao cả ngày quý vị suy nghĩ liên miên? Can you make a connection why all day you're constantly thinking one thought after another? Tại sao cả ngày quý vị cứ suy nghĩ liên tục và liên miên vậy? It's because all day you're thinking in response to all the feelings you experience. Tại vì cả ngày quý vị cứ suy nghĩ liên tục, là tại vì cả ngày quý vị đang bị những cái cảm thọ nó dày vò, nó tạo quý vị suy nghĩ. The feelings evoke thinking. Cái cảm giác nó tạo quý vị cái suy nghĩ. So for you to say that how do I stop my mind to not think from thinking? You can't, because you're feeling like crazy. You're seeking. Thành bởi vì cái vị nói tại sao mà tôi không thể bỏ cái tâm tôi nó ngừng lại, làm cái tâm tôi nó ngừng lại được? Tại vì quý vị đang liên tục có những cái cảm giác, mà cái cảm giác nó thúc mình suy nghĩ. Because you are seeking these feelings or pleasant feeling, that's why you're always thinking. You are always rejecting this unpleasant feeling, that's why you're thinking of a way to reject them, to cut them out, of a way to increase them. Sounds familiar? More money. More fame. More love. Quý vị thấy không? Cả đời quý vị tại sao quý vị không thể nào ngừng suy nghĩ được? Tại vì cả ngày cứ chạy theo, đòi những cái cảm giác sung sướng hơn more food. Okay, we just finished lunch. Now we think, wow, what a nice lunch. I wonder what the next year's what's going to be on the menu next year. Ngày hôm nay chúng ta ăn xong Thanksgiving, buổi tiệc Thanksgiving, thì bây giờ ngồi xít xoa nó ngon quá, ăn đã vậy sợ biết năm sau sẽ ăn cái gì đây. You see? And Jin Xiang says, now I'm so full, I feel like sleeping. That should be next. Those of you still awake, that is. Some of you are already asleep. Excuse me, I thought so. You see? Có người nói ăn no nê có gì ngủ nhất thì nó đã. Thích như vậy. You seeking these pleasant feelings, more pleasant feelings. Mình đi tìm những cảm giác sướng. That's why we're thinking. Is it clear? So that's a third layer, inner layer, that the layer of thinking. Okay? Thành cái lớp thứ ba của cái ngã mình là cái lớp của cái suy nghĩ, cái tư tưởng. So far so good. Okay? And the inner, another layer, cái lớp thứ tư, the fourth layer. Okay? Lớp thứ tư. No. Cái lớp thứ tư, the fourth layer, the ego, is called activity. Cái thứ tư là cái hành. What does it mean? Now I think about it, I should do it. Mình nghĩ thì mình phải làm. You feel like sleeping? That's the only thing that makes sense. Một khi cái vị suy nghĩ rồi, cái vị muốn làm, muốn ăn no nê, muốn ngủ một giấc, thì ngủ mới là xứng đáng. It's the only thing that makes sense. Right? Is to execute, to carry it out. That's called activity. Part of which is your bodily functions. Cái hành là mình cử hành, mình có cái hành động, mình muốn, mình có tư tưởng thì mình phải làm. Làm là cái hành. Okay. Trong cái hành nó có những cái hoạt động của cơ thể chúng ta, hô hấp, tim đập. Okay, so far so good. Oh, there's a fourth. The fourth component is actually we are doing. Okay, we're executing. We are carrying out our thoughts, our plans. And cái thành phần thứ tư của cái ngã mình là cái hoạt động, cái hành động. We're creating karmas. Okay? And finally, the fifth, back to slide 52, tới cái tấm 52, the fifth and the innermost component of your ego is called the consciousness skhandha. Cái thành phần thứ 5 và trong sâu nhất của cái ngã của quý vị là cái thức uẩn. What is consciousness? Consciousness as a name indicates. Yeah, cái thức giống như cái danh từ nó nghĩa đó. Consciousness is to understand or to differentiate. Thức có nghĩa là mình hiểu hoặc là mình phân biệt, phân tích. Okay? Ý thức được. Consciousness here refers to the eighth consciousness. Cái thức này là cái tắt cho 8 thức, bát thức. This consciousness can discern the nature of the observed. Cái thức này nó có thể phân biệt được cái bản tính của cái mình đang quan sát. is there's a cognition, the differentiation. Mình nhận thức ra được, mình phân biệt ra được, nó gọi là cái thức. So far so good. You pride yourself. Your ego is proud of the fact that you have superior discernment, don't you? As the Vietnamese say it, the old Vietnamese people, we have a saying. Các vị thấy không? Vậy cái ngã các vị là rất hãnh diện. Mình có cái khả năng phân biệt được. Mình ý thức được. Like my grandmother, in her generation, she proudly says, don't think because I'm undedicated doesn't mean I'm stupid. Bà nội của thầy ấy, là nói, bà hãnh diện mà nói, đừng có nghĩ rằng mặc dầu ta đây là không có học vấn, nhưng đều đừng nghĩ ta là dốt. Because when a fly flies by, I can tell whether it's male or female. So Vietnamese in that generation. Cái đời đó là bà cụ nói, mày đừng có tự khinh thường tao. Con ruồi bay qua tao cũng biết đực là cái nữa, huống như mày dám hỗn với tao. See, the Vietnamese are giggling. You don't hear that anymore? Có nghe chuyện đó không? Only in my generation, I hear my grandma tell me that all the time. She even never went to first grade. Bà chưa bao giờ tới lớp 1 nữa. Mà thầy đi học lớp 1 xong về I went to first grade. Went home and said, hey ma, I went to first grade. I was so proud of myself. She says, yeah, don't get a big head. Just because I never went to first grade doesn't mean I'm stupid. I can tell a fly what is male or female. And when she gets angry, people, slighting her, that's what she says. Okay? So, consciousness is the ability to differentiate, to discern. Okay? This is critical in our ego because this is what we feel differentiates us from others. Cái sự phân biệt này, cái sự ý thức này rất quan trọng đối với bạn ngài chúng ta, tại vì bạn ngài chúng ta tự cho mình là khác những người khác. You see, I'm different from you. I'm better than you. See, that's implied. I'm better than you. Tôi giỏi hơn quý vị. Sounds familiar? Yes, I'm better than you, Asians. Yes? Okay. Any questions about this? That is the final component, the innermost component part of your ego. Cái thức này là cái phần sâu nhất của cái ngã của quý vị. It's right there, hidden in there. It says, I'm better than you. So far so good. That's the ego right there. Thấy cái ngã dễ sợ. Any questions? Yes, sir.
So is that consciousness level built into all the other levels? It seems like your sense organs are feelings are differentiating between the good and bad feelings and the thought. You have to have a thought that doesn't involve differentiation.
Only to the confused. To the Buddha, it's a clear boundaries. The first 5 sense organs only gather data. The 6 sense organs decides how to synthesize them, put them together. The 7th consciousness decides, this is Baroque music. Not interested. This is Asian food. Bad. Okay? This is hot dog. Very American. That's the 7th consciousness. He says, I like, I approve. 8th consciousness says, this is what it is. Between the 7th and the 6th. The 7th cannot know it's American food. It's not a recognized hot dog and without the 8th consciousness. So it's a clear functioning of the 8th consciousness to the Buddha, not to you clearly. The ear, consciousness, only brings in the sound, no more. That's all. Its only function is to say, there's a sound from that direction. That's it. It brings it in. That's it. And the sixth consciousness says, it sounds like it's the sound of more than one person. It's a dog barking and there is 2 or 3 children screaming. Okay? It puts them together. That sound right there. Okay? And that's works seamlessly because 6, 7, and 8 working seamlessly to decipher what it is. It's how fast it is. Of course, for the unenlightened people, for you it's all the same. Any questions? Người hỏi cái thức nó sao? Nó nói là sức, thầy nói là với những người mà có giác ngộ, khi các ngài nhìn cái thức đó, nó rất rõ ràng. Ngũ thức đó, là chỉ đem dữ kiền vào thôi, không phân biệt được lục thức làm việc với thức với là bát thức để mà phân biệt. So far so good?
You call the seventh consciousness the ego?
Yeah. Sắc thức còn gọi là cái ngã. Okay? It's the motor for the ego because it's the one that rejects or approves. Cái thất thức là cái động cơ của cái ngã mình, tại cái đó, cái thức đó là cái thức mà nó chấp nhận hoặc là nó bác bỏ. Okay? Isn't it how you function all day? I approve, I like, I dislike. Hả? Cả ngày không phải cái gì nói là tôi thích, tôi không thích. I like today's lunch. I like. Yes?
That is the way we function. But what's striking me is peculiar is why we function that way. The ego is created by what manner? What makes the ego the ego?
It's just how it works. I have a hard time understanding itself. How can I tell you why? You're asking someone who's unenlightened to try to help you explain why. There's no why, it just is. Can you accept the fact it is? That's how it works?
Yeah, I can't accept it, but I want to examine it.
There's no engineering behind it, it's just how it works. Okay? Hỏi là tại sao thức cái ngã mình nó như vậy? Thế này làm sao tôi biết được? Tôi là một người mê muội, sao biết được ngã? Tại sao ngã tôi chưa biết được, huống gì mà hỏi tại sao ngã nó như vậy? Mình có thể chấp nhận là ngã nó như vậy thôi là đủ rồi. Can we accept the ego is just 5 skhandhas? That's bad enough for us, okay? For you to understand more than that, I can't help you. Nếu muốn hiểu nhiều hơn, thầy giúp quý vị không được. What is the question though? The question should be on the tip of your tongue is what? It's not that question, but a similar question. How do I undo this ego? Not why it's there. Okay? Câu hỏi nên hỏi là làm sao tôi gỡ cái 5 cái rối này, 5 cái gút này. It's described in Shravana Sutra as the 5 knots. Consciousness knot, activity knot, thought knot, feeling knot, form knot. How do you undo that? The Buddha describes it clearly. So he says, this is what you should undo. Okay? Thành ra câu hỏi này hỏi là mình làm sao mình gỡ được cái 5 cái gút này? Cái đó trong kinh Thủ Lăng Nghiêm. Questions or comments? So, for example, along the line of your question, if these researchers, the psychologists, or those those crazy researchers, crazy illness researchers, they want to know why you do certain things, what motivates you to do certain things, they'll never run out of reasons. Never. It's endless. That why will be met with an endless solution, endless answers. You never run out. You don't have enough time to understand why. Okay? Thì thật nếu quý vị, những cái người khoa học gia muốn biết tại sao mình có hành động như vậy, tại sao mình có những cái tư tưởng như vậy, tại sao cái bản ám như vậy, thì họ sẽ không bao giờ đủ thì giờ để tìm ra hiểu hết tất cả những cái tại sao, những cái lý do đó. Nó vô tận. Okay? It is a gift. The Buddha who says, you have these 5 layers. This is why it is so extremely complicated for you to understand why. It is so complicated. Each layer has numberless layers in itself. The form layer has countless layers, has countless components. For you to decipher the form skhandha alone, you don't have enough time. You multiply that by the feeling skhandha, then you multiply the whole thing by the thought skhandha, then multiply again by the activity skhandha, then multiply again by the consciousness skhandha. It's countless. It's numberless. It's infinite. Is there an answer? Are you satisfied with the answer? Why? Okay? Don't try to understand why. You try to understand why, you don't have enough time.
Right. We're beginning to get one thing, that all these factors, and then the multiplicity of very possible combinations.
It's just countless.
What causes all the different
Yes, that's right. That's why you and your twin brother, twin sister, on the surface you may have the same body shape, right, Yo? The twins, the Siamese, okay? They look the same, but there's still minor form variations, and underneath the feeling variation is a whole bowl of wax. It's just impossible. They're never the same. Okay? That's why researchers are confused. They spend time researching scratching the surface instead of understanding the structure. You see? They're lost in numbers. They're lost in the forest. Anyway, it's too much to explain in Vietnamese. I hope that Kim Bien gets it, because I don't know how to use those Vietnamese words to explain. Thì đại khái là gọi là tại sao như vậy, tại sao ngã mình như vậy, tại sao như vậy. Thì nói sao mà nói tại sao làm cái gì? Tại vì quý vị biết không, rồi cái sắc uẩn không á, là nó biết bao nhiêu vô tận cái lớp rồi. Cái đống của uẩn đó, cái uẩn đó nó vô tận. Cái sắc hình tướng nó là nó vô tận. Mình kiếm ra hết được, không đủ thì giờ mô tả. Xong lấy cái vô tận đó, quý vị nhân thêm vào cái lớp thứ nhì, đó là cái thọ uẩn, nó vô tận nữa. Xong quý vị nhân cái lớp thứ ba là tưởng uẩn, nó vô tận nữa. Thành cuối cùng cái số quý vị là số vô tận. Từng muốn cái người khoa học gia mà muốn tìm hiểu tại sao mấy người đó là chết, không đủ thì giờ mà tìm hiểu được. Ok? Thành ra họ đi con đường bế tắc. Họ bỏ cuộc đời họ truy cầu, nghiên cứu một cái gì mà nó vô tận, làm sao nghiên cứu được? They are investigating the infinite with a finite lifetime. That's not possible. It's futile. Okay? Any question? Any other questions? Cái phần chính như Kinh Lăng Nghiêm nói, Phật nói là phải biết cái phương pháp để gỡ 5 cái gút đó, chứ không phải để mà hiểu tại sao. Okay? It's more important, more critical to undo those knots, those 5 knots, then to understand why. Okay, because understanding why would take too long. It's not until you become, by the way, it's not until you become a Buddha, that's when you understand why. And until then, let's be happy you try to undo that. Ta nói chứ vì biết thiệt ra Đức Phật biết tại sao. Đức Phật thì biết được, chúng ta thì biết không được. Quan trọng hơn việc chúng ta làm là nên gỡ cái gút, chứ đừng có hiểu tại sao. Hiểu tại sao mình không đủ tư cách hiểu, mình chỉ gỡ nó thôi, tự động đó mình sẽ hiểu. If you undo the 5 knots, eventually you see why. Okay? Nói cách khác, quý vị khi mà gỡ 5 cái guốc của cái ngũ uẩn đó, thì quý vị từ từ trong tương lai sẽ hiểu được tại sao. Okay? That's the best way to understand how, why. Okay? Questions or comments? See, Vicky is still asleep. I feel so good today. Oh, this Thanksgiving lunch, this is so wonderful. Let's do it again next year. Huh? Did you have a good lunch, by the way? Yeah? Everyone? Look at all the boys are happy. They're all perky. Huh? Mấy đứa con nít nó vui vẻ. I never seen a boy so happy after lunch. Yes. Number 53. Tấm 53. The Skhandhas Dharma, Skhandha is Sanskrit for pile or heap. Uẩn, pháp uẩn. Uẩn pháp là cái gì? The 5 Skhandhas, actually one is a form Dharma and the remaining 4 are mind Dharmas. Okay? This is based on the consciousness only school of Buddhism. Theo duy thức học. This is important. I want you to know this because these are very important fundamental concepts in Buddhism. Doesn't matter where you learn it, how you learn it. Eventually, in order for you to attain the fruition, you need to understand these concepts. Or after you understand, these are the part of the enlightened knowledge of cultivators. So even though you're not enlightened yet right now, it doesn't hurt for you to plant the seed to understand. Cái tấm 53 này là những cái khái niệm rất quan trọng về Phật giáo, giáo lý về Phật giáo mà quý vị phải nên biết tại sao như vậy. You may reach the fruition like our hardships and so on without having to understand these concepts, but you cannot teach unless you understand these concepts. Quý vị có thể đắc A-la-hán quả hoặc là cao hơn mà không cần biết những khái niệm này. Okay? You don't need to understand these things. But nhưng điều quý vị muốn dạy thì quý vị phải biết những cái khái niệm này. Okay? Why is that? Yes, sir.
So then, feeling is a mind dharma as well. That would be because you don't feel until the mind interprets it?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Quả Ngân đã thức dậy rồi và bắt đầu nghe kinh. She just woke up and now she's ready to learn about the Buddha Dharma. We should have a new rule. After having lunch, instead of bowing, we should have a nap. Trong tương lai những bữa tiệc như vậy, mình thay vì mình lạy Phật thì mình đi ngủ một giấc. That way at least I have more awake people during the lecture. Okay. This is important. So the consciousness school have a form dharma and mind dharma. And trong cái duy thức học nó có gọi là cái sắc pháp với là tâm pháp. Okay. And you notice mind dharma has a lot more. Okay. Thành đại đa số những cái pháp trong những cái giáo lý Phật giáo là dạy về cái tâm pháp. So the Buddha Dharma focuses on these mind dharmas and delineates them. Okay. Cái Phật giáo mình là phân chia ra những cái tâm pháp một cách rất là chính xác. Only in Buddhism can you have that. Phật pháp nó rõ ràng như vậy đó. Okay. So far so good? Now, an also important concept in Buddhism, một cái quan niệm khác là object and subject, cái quan niệm về cái sở và cái năng. Okay? Okay, you hear this a lot when you talk about Buddhism. Object and subject, năng và sở, nẫn, sủa. Okay? The first four, the form, the feeling, the mind, and the activity are what are combined to part of what is called the object. Okay, it's outside. Okay, sở là cái mà mình, cái này ở ngoài mình. Okay, whereas the subject is you, is a consciousness. Ngược lại cái năng á là nó chỉ về cái thức của mình, là mình đó. Okay, so far so good. Just be aware of it. There's something called, a subject and object. You and the rest of the world. Okay? Năng là mình, sở là ở ngoài. Yes, sir.
The most important part about the consciousness that makes it a subject is this differentiation.
Yes.
What about just this sort of awareness? It's like a sense of
Awareness. Awareness is sở. Huh? Object. Yeah? Okay?
Awareness is object.
Yeah, sở. I just told you. Object is sở. Subject is not. Yes? Huh? What do you think, cutie? Huh? You listen to my lecture, you'll be so wise. When that doesn't interest her. Okay. Any other questions? Yes? You think I'm joking? Because your consciousness registers everything. Cái thức mình, quý vị, nó thâu hết tất cả. Okay? Mặc dầu mình đang ngủ gật, even though you're sleeping, your consciousness is still registered. Mặc dầu mình đang ngủ đó, mà cái thức mình nó cũng thâu thập được như thế. For example, even though you're not paying attention, you're still registering. For example, you sit in a lecture and you sit there and you process the thought. What does he mean by that? And why I'm talking? Okay, you're still registering it. Okay. Cái thức á, nó thâu hết tất cả. Như cái máy vậy đó. Máy có hình, it's just like a camera. It records everything. Doesn't care. The eighth consciousness records everything. Cái thức mình nó thâu hết tất cả. Không có gì mà nó không thâu hết. So far so good? Okay. The five skhandhas are living beings. Ngũ uẩn là chúng sanh. All living beings are made up of the five skhandhas. Tất cả chúng sanh đều là ngũ uẩn. Whether it's Charlie, German Shepherd, is it German? Is it purebred?
Yeah.
Wow. Only the pure kinds, huh? Con chó là chúng sanh. Dogs are living beings and they have the five skhandhas. Believe it or not. Yeah? Yeah. That's why they hate cats so much. In all of us, they cover up our Buddha nature. That's true. Và cái ngũ uẩn đó, nó che cái dùng của cái ngũ uẩn này, nó che cái Phật tính của chúng ta. Let me repeat for your sake, the five skhandhas are covering up your true nature. Nhắc lại cho quý vị nghe, cái uẩn đó, ngũ uẩn đó, nó che cái Phật tính của mình.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Consciousness is one of the five skhandhas.
Yes, sir.
So how is that covering up your true nature?
It covers up your true nature. As long as you have the consciousness skhandha active, it covers up your true nature. That's all you need to know. It's how scary it is.
That is scary.
Yeah, you think you know, but no, sir. You probably are mistaken. When you think you know, that's when you know you're mistaken.
Because you're thinking.
If you're so sure you know, you are most likely mistaken. You're so convinced you're right, you are most likely mistaken. Thì nhắc cái việc nghe cái uẩn đó, nó che cái Phật tính, nghĩa là sao? Mà nói một cách nôm na, một khi mấy bà con ngân tôi chắc chắn tôi biết đó, là bà đang mê muội đó. Tại sao vậy? Khi mình dám chắc chắn quả quyết, lúc đó mình đang bị mê muội, mình không biết. Nó dễ sợ như vậy đó. Cái bản ngã mình đó, nó từ cho phép mình chắc chắn như vậy. The nature of the ego is that it's so sure. It is so sure of itself. Does it ring a bell? Anyone have this experience? I know, it must be the case. Nhăn mặt. Gớm không? Thấy gớm dễ sợ không? And you find it scary? When you're so sure, okay, you're confused, you're mistaken. Khi mình chắc chắn, mình nói mình chắc chắn, mình quả quyết, I'm so sure, I'm certain that's the case. That's when you're confused. Okay, you can go home now because you know this is too insulting to you, right? Your thinking process, you're so proud of. You go to school, you train yourself, okay? And you gain experience throughout the years. You put all the things you learn in school and college into practice. And you put up you create something called consciousness, the awareness, the experience, that store of knowledge you have, that you earn a living off, okay? That's covering up the Buddha nature. Quý vị tưởng tượng nghe nó sốc tai dễ sợ không? Cái tư tưởng quý vị, cái hiểu biết của quý vị, cái chắc chắn quý vị, quả quyết quý vị, cái đó nó đang che cái Phật tính của quý vị. Đó quý vị đang bị mê muội. Yes. And this is what makes teaching Mahayana so difficult, because we cannot teach Mahayana unless we insult you. Nên dạy Phật giáo Đại Thừa nó khó vậy sao? Để dạy cái Đại Thừa là phải chửi quý vị. There's no other way. Oh yeah. If you think Mahayana, something beautiful for the smart and the intellect and the wise, that's not Mahayana. Cái người quý vị tới đây muốn nghe cái pháp mà Phật pháp để cho người thông minh, cái người mà hiểu biết, cái người mà khôn ngoan hả? Cái đó không phải Phật pháp nữa, không phải Đại Thừa nữa. Cái Đại Thừa là cái mà cái coi cái vị là dốt. Mahayana look at you and say you are idiots. That's why no one wants to learn Mahayana anymore. Bây giờ thời buổi này không ai muốn học Đại Thừa nữa. What's the matter with you? Unless you're willing to see that, you will never learn a way to break through that fog. Quý vị mà không chịu công nhận cái đó, quý vị không thể nào phá tan được cái màn vô minh của mình. And that's why, even though it's insulting, even though it will offend most of the listeners, we still have to say so. Mặc dù nó rất là sốc tai, mặc dù nó sẽ làm quý vị xúc phạm quý vị, làm quý vị giận, nhưng đều phải nói. Tại nếu quý vị không nghe, không chấp nhận cái này, quý vị sẽ không bao giờ phá tan được cái màn vô minh đó. Yes? Questions or comments? And there's a reason why you want to break through that. Mà có lý do tại sao quý vị muốn phá cái màn vô minh đó. We cover a little bit later. Mình sẽ nói, phần sau mình sẽ nói, hopefully I should have it. I should have time to go through it. That is if I have the latest copy. Okay? Let me double check if my file has been uploaded. Share. Lectures. Heart Sutra. Has been uploaded. Okay. Let's see, we have it. 61, 62. There you go. Okay, yeah, we have it. You are so fortunate. I wouldn't have all this information when I was a cultivator. Hồi trước thầy tu thầy có, they didn't have all these things. None of this is available. Quý vị biết những cái này không có trong tiếng Anh. You know, this is not available in English. I challenge you to find anything this comprehensive about the Skhandhas in English. Thầy cam đoan quý vị không thấy được cái phần nào, chỗ nào nó giảng về cái ngũ uẩn nó rõ ràng về tiếng Anh, rõ ràng như vậy. Not even Vietnamese. Okay? Not Chinese. Well, Chinese you might have go to consciousness schools only.
Well, where did you get it then? Did you come up with it yourself?
I just made it up. After a nice meal, I said, what did I do to deserve this? So I need to earn it. Sau khi thường, this is my best creation right after Sunday, right after lunch. I eat a good meal, you give me a good meal on Sunday, at lunch, I say, wow, such a good meal. Now I better earn it. This is a Buddhist tradition, by the way. After you invite the master over for a good meal, okay, you give him a serve good meal, okay, then you know what the master is supposed to do? He's supposed to speak Dharma for you. You see? That's where he earns his wings. So that's why this is how we earn our food. Quý vị thấy, mời mấy thầy tới dùng trưa là mấy thầy ăn trưa no đế xong là phải đứng dậy nói phá để mà trả lại cái bữa ăn. Okay? This is why when you give xiển trừ something to eat, he take it and he speaks Dharma for you. Thành như để ý vậy, the old schools, the old Chinese, the Vietnamese and Chinese monk, when you give them food, they speak Dharma before they take it. I eat it first and I say, it's very good, then I speak Dharma. Thầy thì ăn ngon thầy mới nói Pháp, ăn dở thầy cũng nói. If it's bad food, I become grouchy. Okay? If you break through the five skhandhas fog, then the Bodhi mind appears. Khi mà quý vị phá qua cái ngũ uẩn này đó, quý vị mới cái tâm Bồ đề quý vị mới xuất hiện. Probably ate dog meat. Hey Charlie, nice boy. Yeah, he's still yeah. Okay? Where do you go from here? Beats me. That's it. This is all I got. I earned my lunch, I think. That's it. How do you... This is great news. Think about it. The Buddha says there's something, the ego that's made up of five skhandhas. Break through these five skhandhas, then you become enlightened. Thì quý vị nghe cái lời Phật dạy nó tuyệt vời như vậy. Phật dạy là cái ngã, cái vô minh, cái vị từ cái ngã đó con ngũ uẩn. Muốn phá cái ngũ uẩn này, phá cái ngũ uẩn này á, thì cái Phật tính quý vị sẽ hiện ra. That's all it takes. Break through the five skhandhas, and the body-mind appears. Now, let me tell you. Did you see, this is something that the Hinayana knowledge, teaching is not complete. Okay? Quý vị thấy không? Cái pháp muộn này bên nguyên thủy người ta không có dạy. They don't teach us. Quý vị qua cái tìm you look into the Agama store. I believe they don't teach about the five skhandhas. Không có dạy về cái nguồn. Okay? Okay? So this is what excuse me, the Hinayana store is incomplete. Bởi vậy cái nguyên thủy, cái pháp nguyên thủy nó vẫn chưa đầy đủ. They don't have they don't describe the nature, the covering of the Buddha nature. Cái Phật tính quý vị nó bị cái nguồn nó che lại. Okay? Có Đại Thừa mới có cái đó. In only Mahayana can you find this kind of information. So far, so good? Okay? All right? All right, 54. It's all Chinese, forget it. Okay? These Chinese says here, these five skhandhas. Cái đại khái của cái tấm chữ tàu này á, ý nghĩa như vậy nè. Those you understand Chinese, you can read it. Miss Korea, can you read the Chinese katakana? No. Okay. You understand Chinese, you know what it means. Cái tấm này chữ tàu, cái vị đọc chữ tàu quý vị sẽ hiểu đại khái. Basically, yes, Heinz.
Can I throw something in Western to the eagle?
Yes, Western ego. Yes.
When I think of the eagle as I see it, or the eagle as you see it, if the eagle were here and you would take it apart. The eagle has five systems. It has a heart system with blood. It's a nervous system with strands leading all over. Has a bone structure.
Mm-hmm.
And has a skin system with feathers.
Yes.
All of them are equally important. And they not only make up the form, but they make up the entity of the ego, which can't really be separated in form and spirit.
What about feelings? Where do feelings fit in your model? How do you have feelings?
They're not a system in themselves, but they are inherent in the system of the five. I mean, I just made the system of five up because you used the five. But I don't know where feelings come from, but maybe from the same place that the mind is.
You're a being of feelings, aren't you?
Pardon me?
You are a being of feelings, aren't you?
Being of?
A being.
A being, yes. Yes.
You have feelings.
Yes.
That's what you experience all day.
Yes.
Okay? That's the ego. So the Buddhist model has the aspects which are actually are very accurate, are very precise on how the ego functions. It has feelings. I feel. How do you feel? How does she feel? Okay? This is how our language is centered around. Our interpersonal interactions are based on feelings, based on thoughts, based on perceptions of form, based on actions, based on consciences. Think about it.
You just say think about it.
You call them layers. That implies one folds over the other. Is that implied when you say five layers?
It's not implied. It is the case.
And
you cannot have feelings unless you have the form. The form are your sense organs. The sense organs bring in the data that creates feelings inside of you. Without the sensory organs, you will not have feelings. Okay? For example, when you're deaf, you cannot hear music anymore. Therefore, when you listen to music, you cannot have any feelings. See how beautiful it is? It is so precise on how we function. The 5 layers that make up our ego, make us function as an individual.
Yes, but all your senses have the various systems. I don't know. There are 9 openings in the human body. And every one of those openings belongs to a separate system. The nose begins here, and the air goes down, and they all make up the system.
They're not beyond the 5 sense organs. You only need the 5 consciousness to include all the 9 orifices you talk about.
Part of form.
Part of form. You only need 5 sense organs to define that. You don't need 9. 5 is the minimum. That includes everything.
But each one of those systems, let's say the auditory system, doesn't just have form on the outside. It has form all along.
Those are called heaps because of that.
Its path into the brain.
Yes.
Shape of the
Those are part of the heap, of the form heap.
So form
Everything.
is just what you see, but the whole system has a form.
Yes. That's part of the form skhandha. All the nerves, all the components that help you get to the hearing organ, okay? That's part of form.
Part of form.
Yes.
So, in other words, form is not just the outer surface.
No.
Okay. Well, maybe that's the confusion I
Right.
took from form.
Yeah, and we simplify a lot. It's just too complicated. Okay.
Well,
But you see, every single component you're talking about is a form in itself. Correct?
yes, yes.
Therefore, it's part of the form skhandha. That's how beautiful it is. It's so elegant way of presenting the information. You cannot break it down to a low level form of primary components for this ego beyond the 5. You cannot have less than 5, for example. That's the beauty of the Buddha's wisdom, and the way he presented it is gorgeous. So I still marvel. Personally, I still marvel at how he described it. It's so beautiful. Whatever he described, whatever you object about the fact that the ego has more than these 5 that they are described, only because we're not describing them in entirety yet. Everything is included in these 5 aspects of the ego. Everything. And it is so elegant, so beautiful. Yes.
Which was the 3rd layer?
Thinking.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 54. Tấm 54, có người hỏi, ông này ông hỏi về cái nào tại vì ông không hiểu, thành ông hỏi. And that was a good question, because you missed the other lecture, so I only summarized, we went through 3 lectures already on this.
20 slides, I'm 20 slides behind.
So, the point here on slide number 54, the main point here is what, Miss Taiwan? What is the main point? You can't see?
It's green.
Don't give any excuse.
Dark green is like
Yes? What is the point here? There's one common word that keeps on coming up time and time again. If you read Chinese, I leave the Chinese here for the sake of the people who understand Chinese, okay? Better than I do, okay? Thầy giữ chữ Tàu này để cho những người trong tương lai, những người mà hiểu chữ Hoa rõ, rành hơn thầy, để ta đọc ta hiểu. Ok. Có một cái chữ mà xài lui sẽ tới. The same word that keeps on occurring in Chinese, huan, right? What is what? It's not real. Huan, huyễn. Vietnamese huyễn. When you talk to the Vietnamese who proclaim to know about Buddhism, they often use the word huyễn. Phải không Kim Điền? She Kim Điền approves. Yeah, see, I've used it before, she says. Chữ huyễn. Hoạn. Illusory. Not real. Not real. Illusory. Nó giả, nó hư, nó huyễn. Questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? So basically it says form is not real. Feeling is not real. Thinking is not real. Activity is not real. Consciousness is not real. Đại khái gì? Nói là sắc uẩn là huyễn, thọ uẩn là huyễn, tưởng uẩn là huyễn, hành uẩn là huyễn, thức uẩn là huyễn. In other words, what does it mean, young man? Nghĩa là sao con? Yes? No? Anthony? Where is Allison? Hello there. What does it mean? Nghĩa là sao? It means do not trust yourself. Do not trust yourself. Because everything you perceive, your form perception, your feeling perception, your thoughts, your activities, your consciousness are all illusory. Nói cách khác là quý vị không nên quá tự tin. Có nghĩa là cái sắc uẩn, cái quý vị thấy là sắc hình tướng đó, nó là giả, nó là huyễn. Những cái cảm giác quý vị có đó, sung sướng, okay, including by the way, the good feeling from that nice meal for lunch today, okay, is illusory. Thành ra ngay ngày hôm nay mình ăn bữa ăn ngon như vậy, cái cảm giác ngon cái đó là cũng là huyễn luôn. When Gu Yin sits there and says, I'm not sure I understand anything, I feel like sleeping, even that thought is also illusory. Cô Quảng Ngân có ngồi đây cô nói, nghe ngày này thầy giảng chán mà tôi không hiểu gì hết á, là tôi muốn buồn ngủ quá. Ngay cái tư tưởng là tôi nó chán, nó nhàm quá, tôi buồn ngủ đó, nó cũng là giả luôn nè. Let me repeat for you. That thought says, I'm sleepy, is also illusory. I'm tired, that's illusory. Tôi buồn ngủ, cái đó là giả. Tôi đang mệt, cái đó là giả. Yes, sir. What took you so long? What took you so long? You must be sleepy today.
What is real?
I don't have an answer for that. I just take it away. I don't have to give you anything. Ông cụ ông nói là trời ơi, tại như vậy thầy, cái gì thầy bắt tôi bác hết, bỏ hết, thì cái gì là thật? Thầy nói thầy không trả lời được, thầy chỉ biết lấy, thầy không biết cho. I can only take, I do not know how to give. Yes. Next question.
And then you're making fun of me.
Aggravating. That's Mahayana, my friend. If you hear Mahayana, it doesn't bother you, something is matter with the lecturer. Quý vị nghe giảng pháp mà quý vị không thấy khó chịu là ông thầy giảng pháp là cà lâm rồi. It should be offensive to you. It is so annoying. I found, okay? I don't know about you. I said, what the heck? That's what I'm doing here. And I have all these questions. You know what, Heinz? And no one would answer me. That's how much nonsense I have to face. I couldn't have anyone. What are you talking about? You think I'm stupid or something? How dare you? Okay, we end the lecture early today. This is as much I'm willing to go on a limb for. Any other question on this side? Huh? Yes. Same question in Vietnamese. People are upset now. They're really upset now. Vì ai cũng giận thầy hết rồi. That's it. This is, this is the last time we're together. There's no more Thanksgiving luncheon next year. This is it. We're disbanding the temple. Mình bỏ chùa mình đi. Okay? Everyone on your own. Because it doesn't matter anyway. The temple is false. Why bother? See, now Mire is giggling. That's when you know you're in trouble. Yeah, okay. Sao? What to do? Làm gì bây giờ? Everything is false. Okay? That's the message. I repeat. Okay, Allison, everything is false. She may not get it right now, but she will. Okay? Everything is false. Okay, honey? Okay, there you are. Good girl. Yes, sir. See, the boy says, money, is that real? Money is real to me. Nhỏ nó hỏi thầy, bạch thầy vậy đó, tiền có thiệt không? Thầy nói, tiền chỉ thiệt với thầy thôi. It should be false to you. You should look at your money is false. And when they give it to me, it becomes real. That's the only time it becomes real. Oops, I feel so bad now. Okay. Can we speed it up a little bit? What is real? Nothing is real. Okay? Okay, we get to it. Can we get to it later? Okay? We'll get to it later. Okay? Hold on to it. Yeah. Today, maybe. Okay, now number 55, tấm 55. So for those of you who wish to be born in a land of utmost bliss, những người quý vị muốn mong cầu vãng sanh, okay, then you need to empty the five skhandhas. Thầy nói quý vị phải nằm cái uổng mình nó không, okay? Why? Tại sao như vậy? This is very advanced. Let me assure you. Cái này nó rất là cao siêu. Okay? I just want to give it to you. Okay? Don't try to understand too much. The form skhandha is a kalpa turbidity. Cái sắc uẩn là cái kiếp trượt. The feeling skhandha is view turbidity. The thought skhandha is affliction turbidity. Cái thọ uẩn là cái kiến trượt. Cái tưởng uẩn là phiền não trượt. The activity skhandha is living being stability. Cái hành uẩn là chúng sanh trượt. And finally, the consciousness skhandha is lifespan stability. Và cái thức uẩn là thọ trượt. Yes.
So what is turbidity?
Turbidity is like you. The sutra explains turbidity as you take a glass of water and you pour mud into it and then you stir it the water mixed with the mud. Okay? That's turbid. That's turbidity. That's the exact definition of turbidity. Cái trượt á, là quý vị lấy một cái ly nước sạch, quý vị đổ cái bùn vào, xong quý vị khuấy nó, thì cái nước với bùn đó nó trộn với nhau á, đó gọi là cái trượt. Okay? It's dirty, it's filthy, it's unclear, you cannot see through it. Okay? Is it clear?
No, turbidity is never clear.
It's not supposed to be clear. Okay? It is so turbid, you cannot see clearly. That's the idea. Cái quan niệm của trượt á, là nó quá trượt, thành quý vị không thấy rõ ràng được. Okay? Yes, sir.
Turbidity implies movement as well. It's not just that you can't see through it.
Yes, includes motion. Yes. Chaos. Yes. Any other questions? Is it too much? See, the young boy is very, very, very practical. He says money, love, food, video games. If there's one more thing we're not reminding him of. The 5 of them. You know what the 5 is? Candy. See, he's got it. Not the same kind of candy you're thinking of. When you get older, I teach you later. Right now, money is good enough for you. Yes?
Master, it's so fascinating because in so many ways, we're taught, well, you have to be able to see something or feel it or smell it or, to use your senses.
Before it's real. Yeah.
And now
you
can't use any of that to understand anything.
The reason being you're using falseness to bring in the data. That's why whatever you go through a false thing is false. That's why you should not trust it. That's the reason. That's the principle behind it. Your sense organs are false measures. Therefore, you rely on them. Your data will be false. Okay, I explain that later. Hang on to that thought. Those are important thoughts, important questions. Very good. Okay, we're coming to that. Hopefully, sometimes. Okay. Then let me elaborate you the beauty of this slide. Cái tấm này nó hay dễ sợ lắm. It's so profound. I don't think you appreciate the beauty of this slide. The form skhandha. Everywhere you see is form. Okay. Quý vị thấy cái tấm này nó tuyệt vời lắm. Tại vì cái sắc uẩn á. See, you open your eyes, you see everywhere, right? You hear. Okay. All your sense organs are gathering data everywhere, okay? And that is the nature of the kalpa turbidity. This time, everything is so turbid, okay? Cái thời kiếp này, cái thời gian này, thời thế này đó, tất cả mọi thứ đều là mù mịt hết. Everything we see is so unclear. Agree or disagree? You're not sure he is really love or what. Mình không biết thiệt sự là tình thương là không tình thương nữa, right? You never know, right? And that's the nature of the kalpa turbidity. Nothing is clear. Nothing. Không có cái gì mà nó rõ ràng hết đó. Vì cái sắc uẩn. That is because of the form skhandha. Isn't it beautiful? Huh? Kim Điền, con thấy tuyệt vời không? Thú vị không? And then, because you're feeling skhandha, you insist on your feelings. It's actually rooted on your false views, your prejudices. Cái cảm thọ quý vị nó giả là tại vì những cái kiến thức của quý vị nó sai lầm. So far so good. You say, I feel good. only because what? You what?
You have a lot of money.
He has a lot of money. He has more than $10. That's a lot of money, right? I have more than you. I think. Right there. Want to compare? Okay. Cái tri kiến quý vị nó sai lầm. You have these erroneous knowledge that cause you to create false feeling inside of you. Quý vị có những cái tri kiến, cái hiểu biết nó sai lầm, nó tạo những cái cảm giác sai lầm cho quý vị. Yes or no? Isn't it beautiful? The cause of all your chaotic feelings is because of your chaotic views, your erroneous views. Nó sâu xa như vậy đó. Cái vị những cảm giác cái vị sai lầm mà tại vì những cái thành kiến cái vị, because of your prejudices, you have these erroneous feelings. You feel you're so right only because you have the wrong views. That's all. More specifically, you're so sure of yourself, okay? Only because you have afflictions. You being so sure of yourself is but an affliction. And you think it ended when the other slide. I'm still continuing to take it away from you. You see? Yes, sir.
Could we apply some differentiation in this simple equation by saying feelings can easily lead you to turbid views, or thoughts can easily lead you to affliction? Or are you saying all feelings by definition are leading to turbidity?
They mutually feed on each other. They reinforce each other. Feelings and views are locked in step. Okay? Same thing. Affliction and thoughts are locked in step. The thought usually arises from the thought is an affliction.
Mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive.
No, they are equivalent. They are in sync. They are closely interconnected.
So if I wake up tomorrow morning and I feel like I want to be a bit more helpful this day.
It's only because you have the wrong views. I think. You see how afflicted I was when I say I think? You see?
I like to go out and help some people and express a bit more compassion.
Yes.
So that's
Compassion belongs to what? Let me look at my cheat sheet here. Compassion belongs to feelings? Wrong view.
I think it's a nature compassion,
Huh?
so many homeless around us on certain days.
So you feel for them.
Feel like handing out.
Yeah, you feel for them, right? Wrong views. Wrong views. Isn't it fascinating? This is challenging, isn't it? You say, wait a minute.
So far, yes.
This is so far. To put it mildly, challenging? No, it's insulting. Okay. And then hang on to that thought. Hang on. I cannot solve it yet. Okay? It's good to be afflicted for a while. And then you see the need to resolve the affliction. Either you say, this is nonsense, let me be, fine. If you say, that's interesting, what can I do about it? Then there's hope. If you say, I'm Texan, I don't care, this is not what we Texans consider to be important in life. Then, so be it. The Buddha said, you don't have to believe me. Right? Goodbye, Miss Korea.
Bye.
Okay, nice to see you. Have a happy life.
See you on Wednesday.
One person dropped out already. You see? Mọi người bỏ cuộc. See? Hi, baby. All right. Activity skhandha is living beings. Cái hành thức á, thiệt ra đó là chúng sanh trường. Okay? Your karmas are creating living beings. That's the beauty of that. Những cái nghiệp quý vị tạo ra, nó tạo ra chúng sanh. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, you don't like it. I love this slide. And then consciousness skhandha is lifespan. Cái thức is clear. As long as you have a consciousness, you have a life. Có cái thức là còn sống. As long as you are aware, you're still alive. It's so beautiful. Huh? And you're not impressed. Never mind. 56. Tấm 56. Another half hour to go and I'll be home free. I won't be seeing you next week anyway. For a few weeks, for 2 weeks, and therefore you forget about this today's insulting lecture. Maybe we'll be friends again. Yes. She says she complains the Chinese in green she can't see a thing. Okay, we change. You're trying to change. Okay, go. It takes me hours to change colors, and people say, so no, I'm happy. Okay, 56. Okay, rồi thầy đổi sao? So. Let me see. I can do this. How about this? Thấy được không? No?
See the pink, you can't see the red.
No?
That's visible.
Which one? This is visible?
That one.
Huh? Is it okay? What? She complains the white is better, right? You can tell the white, and you can tell it's not English. So you put a white Chinese character in English, it shouldn't bother you, right?
No, it doesn't bother.
Okay, very good. There you go. Okay.
It's a question of contrast, alive and
It takes an hour to do this. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
now that's clear.
But you can't understand it. Now you say, but what does it mean? Don't believe your eyes. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. See, he gets it. Go figure. Okay. Number 56. Tấm 56. Okay. The form, okay, you can look at the form as 5 objects. Mình quý vị có thể nhìn cái sắc uẩn á, là cái ngũ trần. The sound, the shape, okay, the smell, the what? What? The 5. Wake up. What's the 5? The taste, the smell, the sight, the sound, and what else? The touch. Okay? The touch. the 5 objects, okay, the Dharma, okay, the 5 objects. What are the 5 objects?
How do those 5 things form?
Huh?
Let's say it's on the feeling. You just did the 5 organs, and on the 5 objects of form.
No, the feelings are the 5 organs. If you arise the feelings from the 5 organs, feeling arise from the 5 organs.
Right.
Okay.
What's the 5 objects of form?
The object, the sound. Okay.
Sound is an object.
Is part of form. Sound is part of form.
Become perceived by the organ.
Okay.
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 Okay, thinking is a sixth consciousness. Tư tưởng là cái lục thức, and activity, cái hành là cái thất thức, and bát thức là cái thức. Okay, so far so good. Anyone awake? Okay.
You're not saying the activity is the 7th consciousness, are you?
It's 7th consciousness.
You are.
Yeah, it is linked to the 7th consciousness.
Linked to it. It's not.
Linked to 7th consciousness, yes.
Linked to it.
It's linked to it, yes.
Right.
Okay? Any questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? This is the beauty of Buddhism, by the way. You are taught these concepts. Don't discard them. Quý vị nghe những cái danh ngôn này, những danh từ này, chuyên môn này, quý vị đừng có bác bỏ nó, chỉ nghe thôi. Eventually, this is what happened to me. I heard all these things. I didn't make sense to me. Eventually, when you go further and further, all of a sudden you see how all these are linked together. That's the beauty of the Mahayana. Cái Phật pháp nó tuyệt vời lắm. Quý vị nghe thôi, đừng có cần hiểu. Nghe từ từ mới thấy tại sao những cái này, những cái quan niệm này từ từ nó có cái liên hệ rất chặt chẽ với nhau, nó có ý nghĩa dễ sợ. Okay, so far so good. Don't try to understand too much. This is just exposure right now. Quý vị từ từ mới thấy được. Okay, it takes years, by the way. It takes years for you to grasp these. See the interconnection. Quý vị thấy được cái sự cấu kết nó rất là chặt chẽ. Okay. These Buddhist concepts, none of it is superfluous. It's why it's there for a reason. Nó dạy cái vì những cái danh từ như vậy, những cái quan niệm như vậy, nó có cái lý do đó. Okay? Yes, sir.
Would there be a way to make the understanding of these concepts easier for, let's say, Western minds? When over the last 50 years, I had to approach a complex problem, we make what we call analytical diagrams, or what other people call bubble diagrams.
Yes.
Where you sort of start forming concepts in groups,
Mm-hmm.
and then you connect them with the various lines depending how intensely they're connected to the next step. Or in math, you make definitions first, and then you have a proposition, you try to prove it. There's some process. And on the very first page of the book, you show that functional diagram. And every time you have a chapter, you refer back to the functional diagram. I have not seen any functional diagrams in any of the few lectures I have seen here. Would that help?
That would help.
You know,
Yes, it would help.
what I mean?
Well, yes, it would help.
I have to do it, but
Right, it would help. And that's a very constructive suggestion. But it's not about your comprehension. It's about being able to see it when you meditate. The objective is not to describe to you visually. The objective is to stuff in your brains, in your consciousness. And when you meditate, it will congeal. That's the beauty of the teaching. It's not meant to be visual. So a lot of people, a lot of my teachers and disciples, I can name one, for example, because I heard her. she was investigating the Avatamsaka Sutra, the king of sutras in Buddhism, the biggest sutra, the most important sutra in Buddhism. Okay, and my Chinese teacher's emphasis is on the Avatamsaka Sutra. So his disciples are all investigating Avatamsaka Sutra because if you're advanced, that's what you do. So many of them investigated it. Heng Shuo, Heng Chu, Heng Yun, Heng. They all specialize in Avatamsaka Sutra. And in particular, this nun here is very bright. She investigated Avatamsaka Sutra for years, and one day she said, that's it, I got it. So she started drawing all these diagrams, what the sutra means, what the purport of the sutra, what its teaching is about. Okay? And she spent weeks in her room drawing these diagrams and saying, wow, this is the connection of this beautiful structure of the sutra. Okay? And she came out and she said, Master, I got it. Please come to my room. I show you my understanding of Avatamsaka Sutra. You know what he says? What do you say, you think? Very good. Now, go to work.
Yeah, the diagram is over at the beginning. But my question was, would it be easier if one had such a diagram?
No. Personally, I don't think it's easier. You know why? Because the nature, and it's a very good question, the nature of your worldly knowledge is you try to have the big picture, you try to find a way to increase it. Okay? In Mahayana, it's different. It continues just like that. No rhyme or reason. Okay? You keep on, sometimes the nature of unclarity is that it will help you focus. There's another way to approach it is that, yes, you draw everything, and you look at that, okay, that's one way. My preferred approach is to pique your interest, to pique your urge, to break through. Then you see the picture much easier. Okay? It's not about the big picture. It's about breaking through. Then you give me any picture and say, it makes sense. No, it's lacking over here. No, it's incorrect over there. Because pictures are phenomenon. We need to understand noumenon first, the principles behind it first. Does it make sense?
Yes, the diagram is only an aid.
Right.
The concept. The diagram is not the concept.
Right. If you train, you learn, you understand how to help people unfold the wisdom so that they can understand the principles, I feel, personally, after 8 years of teaching, okay? I feel that diagrams are not useful to help people break through. They attach to those diagrams. And that's the drawback. Okay? So, as a teacher, I would rather focus on where they're stuck right now and help them unstuck in that particular, for that particular instance. That's how you break through. It's no diagram that serves everyone.
Don't you also say that a picture is 1,000 words?
Yes.
And if you have a series of images, most people learn easier when they see a picture. At least the aha moment comes, and then you can start building from there.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yes.
That's really all I'm saying or asking for.
Here's my retort to that. I agree with you, picture is 1,000 words. You know what my pictures are? Right here. This is my secret. These are my big pictures. You force me to reveal my secret. This is my pictures. You see, I use very few pictures in my lectures, but these are actually my pictures.
These are actually pictures, but they're not existing.
Pictograms. The Chinese characters are pictograms. They describe something. Okay? These are advanced pictures. That's why I, as a lecturer, even though I don't understand a lot of the Chinese characters, I preserve the Chinese characters because I realize the depth of these drawings. They carry meanings that I myself don't quite understand yet. Okay?
Yes, that's true. Is it such that people that speak Chinese have that full understanding of the pictogram?
No.
Then that
You don't need to understand all the pictograms. You only need to understand part of it. It's helpful already. Okay? That's the beauty of the wisdom. You don't need to understand everything. When you need to explain it, that's when suddenly you know how to explain it. You don't have to understand everything. Why? Because you explain it in a way that makes sense to him. To him. Never mind. Okay? You see? That's the whole point of the purpose of the lecture, is that you explain to help people break through, not for you. For you, you need to understand this much. For example, this character, you need to understand this much right here. The first, this Ren character, that Ren part right here. Okay? For example, that's all you need to help you break through. But for each of you, it might be different. It might be a different part of the Chinese character. Maybe it's a sound. Maybe it's a translation to Vietnamese. Maybe it's a translation to English. Okay? I use the Chinese characters as a starting point. I say, okay, this is actually a bian. Bian Chinese means transformation. Transformation meaning in your world, transformation is that it's not real. It's not there. And you make it happen. Okay? So, yes, it serves the purpose of the pictograms of the pictures. Okay? But it's deeper than the picture I can create on my own. That is very constructive. I agree with you. Yes, it's part of the teaching aid that we should consider absolutely in the future generation. If they feel they can create pictograms and pictures and charts and so on, by all means, they should. I'm not against it. For my purpose, okay, I find that if I go and collect these ancient teachings, okay, in Chinese, you see, these things here, I collected from the patriarchs' teachings. The patriarchs, they use these Chinese characters to convey the teachings. I say, wow. Just like this slide number 55, you see, this is from a chart somewhere. And I look at it and say, wow, that is so beautiful. This is it. I've never seen it before in English. Therefore, I need to translate that into English for them. Okay? So, it's from these Chinese teachings, these Chinese patriarchs, that I get all this information. Okay? And some information I don't get, I leave the Chinese character because it has more than I can translate, it can describe for you. Time's up. Okay. Isn't it fascinating? There's so many ways to skin the cat. Absolutely. You use pictures? Definitely. Okay? My fascination personally, my fascination, I look into these Chinese teachings and look at these Chinese characters and try to understand it. Why they put together, the way they put together. Okay? That fascinates me because it's lost. That knowledge is lost nowadays.
Oh no.
Even the Chinese don't get it.
There's no scholars.
I assure you, many Chinese people I talk to, they don't get it.
But aren't there scholars that really know this kind of thing?
You know, when you talk to like, if you text like Bodhidharma, when he teaches, okay, he doesn't know Chinese. He only speaks in Sanskrit and in very little Chinese. So whatever Chinese character he uses carries tremendous meanings. That's what I want to look at. I'm not interested in the translation. You see? So that's what fascinates me. Why a person like Master Xu Yun uses certain characters, Master Xu Huang uses different kind of characters, the great teachers like Bodhidharma and so on, what they left behind, six patriarchs, they teach differently. Why is that? That fascinates me. So my time is spent on trying to decipher that, okay? Trying to figure it out instead of trying to draw pictures myself. Yes?
Are you saying these 17 Chinese characters which stand between activity and seventh consciousness, if we could understand those, that would lead us to the conclusion that activity is the seventh consciousness? Because I'm missing everything that you say in those 17 characters.
They carry some meaning, yes.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you it has everything, but it has some interesting meaning in here. Okay, that's why I preserve the Chinese characters, because it's beautiful. The activity here, it means that there's a flow. Okay, it's being carried, and there is a transformation. Okay, it's not there. Okay. There is a creation part of the activity. There is a gathering part. Okay? And then there is a differentiation. That's what is carried in the word activity. How can you translate it? You can't translate it. I'm too lazy.
Takes more time, takes more definitions, more, yes.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And that's why what I do, I teach my students, go learn Chinese. And then when people ask you a question, you answer. There is a connection between the lecturer and the listener, okay? You don't have to explain everything. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, me too. My foot. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. Yes, sir.
I just noticed the Skhandhas are prominent in the Hinayana teachings.
Yeah, but not the way we teach it. They can attain the fruition without learning about the Skhandhas. So can we, faster. But when you teach, you have to dissect the Skhandhas.
But they do not dissect them at root level.
They don't understand the Skhandhas as well as we do, not the way we do. They don't. You look at the Abhidharma, I'm not impressed.
They basically just name them.
No, Abhidharma is the most profound teaching in Hinayana. I'm not impressed. Because it's not a complete picture. I demand a complete picture. Don't paint me half of it. Like if in a line of what Heinz suggested, give me a drawing. Don't give me half of a drawing. I'm not interested. Right? I would be offended. Personally. Give me the whole thing. Don't assume I cannot absorb. I can only absorb half of the picture. Don't insult me like that. Insult me totally. Say, give me the entire picture. See how stupid you are? That impresses me. Right? Don't give me half of it. Okay? That offends me. You're limiting my ability. to absorb. It's absolutely. You can call me stupid by saying, "Can you understand this?" See, you can't, right? You're stupid. I say, I'm stupid today, but tomorrow you see. Next year you see. That's how I learn, right? If you're not challenged, how are you going to learn? You think you know everything? What's your motivation to learn more? Someone is telling you don't know. You don't know as much as you think, right? You are, well, just forget about the words. But unless you challenge, how are you gonna motivate yourself? Phải không Quang Ngân? Ngày ngủ đã thì đã, mặt nó đờ đờ. Today Eugene has such a good sleep. Okay? Oh my God, I only have 10 minutes. How are we going to do that? How are we going to explain this? Okay. Can we skip this number 7? 6 organs, 12 places, 18 realms. I always about to explain a lot more on this, but it's okay. You know, you can read it. Yeah, it's boring. Okay? If I go into this, I will not have time to go into why. So what's your choice? What is your pleasure today?
You won't skip it. You will explain this later, right?
This woman is greedy. Now, a good lunch is not enough. She says, I want to know more. Okay, maybe we come back. Okay? Okay, number 58. Okay? You can read number 57. You don't understand, you're going to ask me. 58. Ancient wisdom. This is beautiful. This you will not find this. Cái này quý vị kiếm sách không ra đâu. Okay? This is from the Chinese, by the way. Nowhere in English. Nowhere in Master Shri Huan's teaching. Cái này Ngài Thiên Hóa thầy không có giảng. Có người Tàu mới giảng cái này. Mấy cái tổ sư Tàu mới giảng này thôi. Còn Ngân thằng Còn Ngân ngủ gật là ráng mà chịu So I tell you, only the Chinese patriarch teaches, and if you fall asleep, it's your fault. Okay? Quickly. Form is like foam and froth. Sắc là giống như là bong bóng, bọt, nước bọt. Okay? Feeling is like bubbles. Thọ, cái cảm giác là giống như là những cái bọt nó, cái bong bóng nó lớn ra. Okay? Good or bad, quickly goes by. Okay? Bubbles. Okay? Like the soap bubbles. Cognition, okay, or thinking is like mirage. Okay? Cái tư tưởng là một cái mirage. Huh? What's mirage in Vietnamese? Ảo tưởng. Okay? Activity is like a banana tree. Okay? Cái hành là giống như cái chuối vậy. Okay, you peel one layer of thought, another layer, peel and peeling, that is nothing behind it. Nothing behind it at all. It's beautiful. Okay? And consciousness is like magic. Cái thức là giống như là ảo thuật. Dễ sợ. Everything is false. Tất cả mọi việc đều là giả hết. Let me ask you, why are you so upset? Tại sao quý vị giận như why are you so upset at me? Hả? Tại sao quý vị vẫn chấp trước với thầy? Huh? Just because I take it away, why are you upset? Everything is false. Even my words are false. My insults are false. Cái lời nói thầy, lời chửi thầy, mắng nhiếc của thầy cũng là giả luôn nữa. Why should you be offended? Now it feels better? Huh? Okay, 59.
Of course you shouldn't be offended, but you still have to deal with conventional reality. It's just two different things. Conventional reality has to be addressed.
If you know about the 5 skhandhas, nếu quý vị biết về cái ngũ uẩn, okay? Then, if you possess virtue, you really possess real knowledge. Nếu quý vị có đức, quý vị có cái tri kiến đúng, You will contemplate the five skandhas as impermanent, bound up with suffering, void of self. Then you attain the fruition. We tell you it's false for a reason. Chúng tôi dạy cho quý vị là những cái ngũ uẩn nó huyễn là tại vì có cái lý do. Okay? So that you decrease your dependence on the five skandhas. That form is false, meaning that my insult to you is false. You could use it against, right back at me again. I don't have to believe you. Your insult to me is false because it's form. Right? You should have. If you have this insulted feeling, you're so upset, if you took away everything in my life, if you destroy the world as I built it my last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, okay? 4 years, okay? Then what's left in it for me? Okay? That affliction inside, contemplated as false. Okay? They're all impermanent. All that feeling cannot last very long. They don't last forever. Tất cả những cái cảm thọ nó không có lâu dài. Tất cả những cái gì mà thầy nói cái vị đó, nó chỉ là huyễn luôn nữa. Cái vị đâu cần tin đâu. Không cần phải phiền não. Just because I say so, is no reason for you to get afflicted. Thầy nói như vậy không có nghĩa quý vị cần có phiền não. Tại cái phiền não, cái lời nói thầy nó cũng là huyễn. Cái phiền não quý vị đang nghe, khi mà nghe nó chọn tai như vậy cũng là huyễn. Thì tại sao mà giữ nó làm cái gì? Drop it. Drop it. Drop your afflictions. Xả cái phiền não của mình. And listen to my words as the sound that goes by. Goes in one ear, goes out the other. That's all you have to do. Nghe nó. Tai, vô tai này nó ra tai kia. That's what Mireya does. I said. That's it. All of you are reacting. Oh, you say, Mireya. What happened to the young boy? The boy is asleep? Oh, yeah, no. Okay. Thấy thấy không? Cái vị nghe thầy nói, cái vị có cái phản ứng ngay lập tức. Còn cái cô nghe cái như vô lỗ tai này ra lỗ tai kia. Cái đó là nghe. That's listening, proper listening. Just listen, let go. Listen, let go. Don't hang on to anything. Don't try to understand. There's no need to understand. Không cần phải hiểu. You insist on understanding everything you hear. Quý vị nghe, you see, I drove such a long distance come to the temple. I want to learn something. No. You come here because he listens one ear and goes out the other. That's why you come to the temple. Why? Because this is false, therefore don't hang on to it, drop it. If you know it's false, drop it. Quý vị thấy không? Quý vị đừng có cái chấp trước như vậy. Bỏ thì giờ công nhọc lái xe tới chùa, tôi muốn học hỏi, học cái Phật Pháp, học cái gì hay ho. Không có gì hay ho hết đó. Nghe xong là xả, nghe xong là xả, nghe xong là xả. That's all you do. You learn to drop everything you hear. Okay? And if Charlie bites you, it's not real. Mà nếu con chó nó cắn mình, tôi không phải. It's not real. Trust me. Don't sue me. You got it? That's exercise. If you're able to contemplate the 5 skandhas as impermanent, full of suffering, not real, you will certify to first stage arhatship. It's that simple. You don't need to spend 10 years like some Fra Samre living in a cave. Okay? You do this what I'm teaching you right here, just like that. Like it, Mireya? Tại sao quý vị phải bỏ 10 năm của quý vị ngồi trong cái hầm làm cái gì? Quý vị chỉ cần nghe cái pháp này, ngày hôm nay này, năm ngũ uẩn là nó vô thường, nó là khổ và nó không có cái ngã, là quý vị đắc quả ngay lập tức. It's that easy. Nó dễ như vậy, thành mình lẹ như yes honey. Yes. See? This is why when the Buddha was alive and he explained the Dharma to his disciples, those who certified the first stage arhatship exactly saw that. They said, oh wow, this is suffering. This is impermanent. This is devoid of self. Boom! They certified the first stage arhatship. No need to go through 10 years of meditation. Thì con nghĩ chứ có ai Kim Điền thấy hồi thời mà Phật còn tại thế kinh hoàng ngài giảng pháp á, đệ tử ngài nghe thấy cái này á là nó vô thường, cái này á là đầy là khổ, cái này á là không có cái ngã, là chứng sơ quả là ngay lập tức, ngay lúc đó luôn. Cái đài pháp mà nó dễ sợ như vậy đó, đâu cần phải tu 10 năm làm cái gì. Pháp mình tu lắm, chốc lát và đắc quả ngay lập tức. Our Dharma includes you being able to certify to the fruition instantaneously, if you're able to, nếu quý vị đủ sức. Yes. There's hope. Isn't it wonderful? There's so many paths to get there. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I can dare one more interruption.
Yes.
Just take the blue text that we have highlighted.
Blue text and highlight it.
It's gone. I can't talk without the short-term memory. I'm too old for this.
That's what we all say. You're too old.
Yeah.
Could you please highlight the keywords you have highlighted on the second bullet point? Yes. No, yes, perfect. I would dare to say, no, blue is fine.
Yellow.
No,
There.
Yes.
Among these terms, most people would understand impermanent. Most people would understand suffering.
Yes.
I think most people would probably not understand what void of self means.
What does it mean? Not real.
I can't.
It's not real. What does it mean not real? You ask good questions. These are practical questions that most decent listener should ask.
But if something is impermanent, doesn't mean it's not real. If somebody has a feeling for a condition, a sunset or a woman, real, even if as impermanent as it may be.
But that should not, just because you have temporary feelings for a woman, you should not have make long-term decisions. See how personal I get immediately? You attack me, I reciprocate.
Permanent and not real, and not identical. It's true.
That's right.
I'm not the philosopher. You got philosophers in here. Help me out.
Is he in trouble? Is he in trouble?
Help me out, CMJ.
We're supposed to be impartial. Yes.
You can answer hypothetically.
Yes.
Thầy, cái impermanent á là cái concept mà Đức Phật dạy mình để mà mình mê muội, mình chấp mọi thứ là thường. Thì Phật dạy mình cái nó vô thường, các con mê, các con cho nó là thường, mà thật sự nó vô thường.
This is the beauty of teaching right here. You fail to get the teaching. Let me explain it to you. Thầy dạy cái pháp này quá. This is very important dharma, by the way. It's critical dharma. It's critical dharma. Let me explain it to you. Okay. If you want to certify to stream entry, meaning first stage arhatship, if that's what you want. Nếu quý vị muốn chứng sơ quả La Hán, Kim Điện bây giờ tỉnh lại rồi. Còn ngân còn ngân muốn tôi muốn chứng. See, look at her face now. Okay. You contemplate. Okay. Everything's impermanent. Thứ nhất quý vị phải nhìn nó là nó tạm bợ thôi. Con mình nó tạm bợ thôi. Your son, your daughter is temporary. One day they're gonna leave you. Ngày nào đó sẽ bỏ mình nó đi. Especially your boys will marry a girl who will love you more, and he'll love her more than he ever loved you. He better. And then the cycle repeats itself. Okay? And then your wife will have to undergo, his wife will have to undergo the same suffering that you are undergoing right now. Okay? It's impermanent. Okay? Especially feelings are impermanent. Nhất là những cái cảm giác nó chỉ tạm thời thôi. The feelings of good or bad are impermanent. Tất cả những cái cảm giác nó chỉ là tạm thời thôi. Okay? So far so good? That's key to you. You take your feelings to be true. You said, he's in love with me. Yes, but not for long. It's true, isn't it? See how cruel these people are. Vì thấy em, cái cảm giác mình nói là ông thương mình, thì ra cái tình thương của ông với mình nó chỉ tạm bợ thôi. Nó khổ như vậy đó. And this is why you women are so naive. I think he just made up for himself. Very good. Such a smart man. Okay, you score points. I give you.
Love would be 3 years or 3 years. And that's more than nothing. Sometimes a weekend is more than nothing.
It's best to let them interpret that. Mahayana is very personal. Cái đại thừa mình nó rất là thực tiễn. You see? Feelings are impermanent. Cái cảm giác nó tạm thời thôi. Bound up with suffering, nó là khổ. What you feel is love, actually is suffering. Cái mà quý vị gọi là tình yêu đó, thiệt nó là cái sự đau khổ. Let's watch the reaction. Okay? And that person who's feeling that me is not real. Don't attach too much importance to that. Don't. Mà mình đừng coi cái người mà có cái cảm giác đó nó quan trọng. Quý vị làm được như vậy đó, cứ mỗi cái lần mà bị phiền não, every time you get afflicted, you go through this, is it permanent? This is real suffering. This is not real. Okay? Then you keep on doing that, you certify the first stage arhatship. Cái pháp nó như vậy đó. Mỗi lần cái bị phiền não, okay? Cái vị quan sát nó, quán nó là nó tạm bợ, nó là khổ và nó là không có thật. Là quý vị sẽ chứng được sơ quả là nó dễ sợ như vậy. Sao? Ngồi mà thiền, cái chân nó đau, you sit there and you meditate, and your legs hurt. Yeah? The hurt will not last forever. That is real suffering. Okay. And there's no one who's hurting. Certified the first stage arhatship. Ngồi chân nó đau, ngồi thiền chân nó đau. Nói là cái đau này nó chỉ tạm thời, nó không bao giờ đau, không bao giờ nó đau, không bao giờ luôn luôn nó đau đâu. Nó chỉ tạm thời đau lúc này thôi. Và cái đau này thiệt sự là cái khổ. Đây là cái khổ mình đã từng tạo ra mình rồi. Ok? Thành bây giờ mình phải chịu cái quả khổ này. Chấp nhận. You accept the fact you created the seeds of suffering. Now you're undergoing suffering. It is suffering. Okay? Stop it. And actually, that ego says, go away. That ego here is not real. Cái ngã mà nó nói là bớt đau đi, đừng có đau nữa, tôi không thích cái đau này. Cái ngã nó là ngã, nó giả, nó huyễn, đừng có tin nó, kệ nó. Đừng có làm gì hết. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Đừng có làm gì hết đó. Quý vị làm được như vậy đó, sơ quả là oh, excuse me. It's over. It's 15 minutes. Cái pháp tu nó như vậy, quý vị cứ làm như hoài sẽ chứng sơ quả là. If you want to certify the first stage arhatship, that's what you do. Lời đường mật, không, nó là lời đường mật. Lúc mà giận nhau thì đâm xéo nhau. She said, now she realizes, oh, her wonderful marriage. When they're in love, they say honey words, sweet words. When they disagree, they fight, then they say harsh words. There's nothing to attach to. Có gì đâu mà chừng đó. See? Impermanent. Love is impermanent. Okay? Tình yêu nó chỉ tạm bợ thôi. Tình yêu là khổ. Love is suffering. There's no one who is in love. Cái người mà đang yêu đó là không phải là thật. Người mình yêu đó không phải là thật. The person you love is not real. Let me describe for you clearly. This particular says here, the person who's loving you is not real. Cái người mà yêu mình đó không phải là, chỉ là huyễn thôi. Oh boy, yes.
Thầy cũng đọc các mấy chuyện kiểu gì đó, thành bạn khi mà yêu thì thành mặt như vậy là phải sợ các thầy.
Kỳ Hiệp nói sao? Yêu.
Từ má này mà trở thành Hiệp này là vì nhờ yêu. Như vậy thì yêu là khổ hay là khổ những cái.
He says in these kung fu novels, the evil demons, the female demons, they turn from the deviant to the proper and become good, okay, because of love. So that love is it suffering or is it bliss? Next week we answer that. Tuần sau mình trả lời. Which in next week will be in Fremont.
2 weeks.
Okay. This is a formula. This is how you shed. Đây cái phương pháp để quý vị xả. Don't you get the beauty of the Dharma? Quý vị thấy cái pháp nó dễ sợ không? Muốn tới đó đó. Tập xả. If you want to have real wisdom, you have to learn to let go. Phải tập xả. Xả bằng cách nhìn nó là the key words are impermanent, suffering, and no self. Nó là giả. Nó tạm bợ, nó là khổ, và nó là giả. Questions? Ai thắc mắc gì không? This is why you need to listen to the sutra lectures. With the sutra lectures, we teach you how to do it. Quý vị phải cần nghe giảng kinh vì vậy đó. Giảng kinh mới dạy quý vị cái phương pháp để mà làm. Học thiền xong phải ngồi nghe giảng. After you meditate, we teach you how to do it. How to correct your mistakes when you meditate. Giống như sau khi mà ngồi thiền xong, chúng tôi nói pháp cho quý vị nghe để sửa những cái sai lầm của quý vị khi quý vị ngồi thiền. Okay? And you know, you have the chance to ask questions. I never had the chance to ask questions, by the way. Quý vị rất có phước hơn thầy. Là có cái cơ hội để mà đặt câu hỏi. Lúc mà thầy tu thì có nhiều thắc mắc dễ sợ lắm mà không hỏi ai được hết. I never could ask anyone. And now we have questions and answers on the internet. People can ask us questions, stuff like that. Okay, so, I think the Mahayana Dharma is flourishing in the U.S. Thì thầy nghĩ là cái đại thừa rương xứ Mỹ nó đang bắt đầu phát triển. Okay, I hope more of the teachers will teach about sutras and help you answer your questions. It's part of Dharma propagation, not just building temple, not just doing charity work. You have to help you understand the Dharma and tell you what to do in order for you to penetrate the Dharma. Cái hoàng dương Phật pháp là không phải xây chùa không, mà thì cái quan trọng hơn là phải giảng kinh cho quý vị để hiểu cái cách để mà thâm nhập cái ý nghĩa của Phật dạy. Okay, Kim Điền, I think she's done 15 minutes ago. She's no longer taking notes, therefore I should cut it short as well. Cô Kim Điền, cô nói quá giờ tôi rồi, tôi đình công, tôi không có biên xuống nữa. Thành ra thầy cũng. It's a lot of suffering. Think about it. Okay, if you want to have an idea what the hell is like, I've been to prison a few times. Not the way you think. Jesus, such a low opinion of me. And I was there for a few times visiting someone, and the suffering there is incredible. I walked in and said, whoa, I thought I was suffering with my depression or by being bipolar, extreme bipolar. I thought I was suffering until I walked into the prison. I said, wow, this is suffering, folks. Okay? It's so much suffering there. Okay, and the hells are a lot worse, infinitely worse than life in a prison here. You find out. I know you don't believe me. I found out myself. I went to the hells myself. I'm pretty sure. I did. Okay? One life you're an emperor, next life you fall to the hell. That's typical here in the Sahara world. We have zero control over where we're going to go next. Zero. Unless you cultivate, you have no control whatsoever. Okay? Yeah. And so the pure world are the world that's you have no hells, no ghost realms, no animal realms. That's why you will not have to worry about those types of sufferings. There's no sufferings whatsoever. And that's why it's so desirable. That world there is many of them in the universe. In what we call in Buddhism is called Dharma realm. Dharma realm is a jargon for universe. Okay, so Dharma realm has two types of worlds: pure, we call it land, pure land or impure land. They are mixed up, all jumbled up. Okay, and if you study the Avatamsaka Sutra, you learn more about it in one of those chapters. Okay, Avatamsaka Sutra is the top-notch Buddhist sutra that explains you more, tells you more about the nature and the composition of the universe. So this afternoon, okay, we'll be lecturing on the first chapter. Okay. Anyway, so you go to the impure world, in particular, this impure world. I'm going to go to this pure land. The best one that's most suitable for us is the Western Bliss Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha. This Buddha to my right here, behind me. Left is Medicine Master Buddha. He's also have a Pure Land himself. And Amitabha Buddha. Okay, now, for us, residents of the Sahara world, it's easiest to go to his Pure Land. Okay? Because he created his Pure Land in order to make it easier for people like us to go there, living beings like us, whether you're an animal, whether you're a ghost, you still have a chance to go there yourself. All right? Let alone us living beings, human beings, or gods, or sewers, or so forth. Okay. Now, Amitabha Buddha Pure Land is the easiest to go there for us, and that's why we advise all of our followers to go to the Pure Land. Try to go to the Pure Land. Okay. Once you go there, you're born there, then in one lifetime you become a Buddha and you will never suffer again. If you go there, you'll never suffer again. That's why it's so wonderful. It's the best thing that could happen to you. It's the best thing that could happen to your loved ones. Okay, that's what the Buddha taught. Okay, so this Pure Land thing we're doing is to help you, to remind you, it's such a great place. So, by all means, when you practice Pure Land, don't miss this chance again. Make sure you go there at the end of this lifetime. Okay, I hope to see you there. Okay, at the end of this lifetime. Okay, so that's what to us American Pure Land is about, making sure that we maximize our chance to go there and don't fool around here. Don't get out of this wheel reincarnation. It's a lot more suffering you want to that you can cope with. Okay, when you go to the Pure Land, it's called An Yang.
Okay, in Chinese, so the Western Bliss Pure Land is what is known. Another name is known for Western Bliss is because it's to the west in the universe. This is our Sao world here. It's to the west of Sao world. It's about 10 billion galaxies away. It's pretty far. So that's why the only way to get there is via Amitabha Buddha's power. That's it. No one else can help you. Okay? So that's why the Pure Land Dharma door is the door that we practice, and so that at the end of your life, hopefully we can ask Amitabha Buddha to come and help bring you back to his Pure Land. Is that clear? Okay? And once you're there, you're born there instantaneously in a lotus flower, and you will never experience suffering again, and become a Buddha in one lifetime. So that's why, and it's very blissful there. So now, that's why it's called Western Bliss Pure Land. Okay. The other name is known as An Yang. Okay. An is Chinese people. An. Yeah, okay. Person in the back.
Peace and safety.
Peace and safety. Why you have to steal all my thunder? Okay. Safety. I'll talk about safety first. Okay. Safety because you will be safe. You don't have to worry about falling anymore to the 3 lower realms. Okay? In the Saha world here, if you stay here, the chances of you falling after this lifetime are very, very high. Particularly, you'll find people like me down there in the hells. Most monks and nuns fall to the hells. They don't talk about it. We don't talk about it, but it's the truth. Okay? Monks and nuns fall to the hells. Why is that? It's because we all create so many offenses. Okay? We do a lot of evil things. And in particular, you only have 5 precepts. When you violate them, your chances of falling are pretty good. Okay? I have 250 precepts. The girls there, they have 340 precepts. So who do you think is going to fall easier for them to fall? Huh? The girls, and then the boys, and then you. So that's why the hells are heavily populated by monks and nuns. It's a fact. Okay? Yeah. So the chances of falling here in the Saha world are so high. It's not safe at all. Okay, so that's why the Western Bliss Pure Land is called An, is because it's safe. You have no more hells to worry about. You have no more fears to regress, to fall back. Here, bodhisattvas who are enlightened, I notice they regress too. Oh, excuse me. That's cruel. People regress here. The only people who don't regress are Buddhas. But when you go to Western Bliss Pure Land, you don't regress ever. Okay? So that's why it's safe. Okay? You will not fall, you will not regress. Is that clear? Okay. What about that's An? An is safety and peace. Bình an, peaceful. So peace is because it's very peaceful there. Okay, no ghosts, no troublemakers there. Everyone is well behaved. All right, no kids, I don't think. Kids don't behave, do they? Huh? All right. Yeah. Is that clear? So Ping An is safety and what was that again? And peace. Yang. Yang is what? Chinese people. Vietnamese people. What's that? Yeah? Yang means to raise. To raise, like raise your children. Yang, yang da. Huh? So you raise, your boys understand Chinese only, right? Huh? Then you speak Chinese to them, right? Okay. So you raise them so that you help them grow up, help them reach maturity. Okay, that's Yang. Why is Western Bliss Pure Land called Yang? It's because the Buddha personally raises you. Okay? Until you grow up. What is growing up in a Pure Land? You become enlightened. That's growing. That's adults. Okay? Below that, you consider a baby. All right? So that's why Yang. Yang is, he raises us. He acts like our father and he raises us until we grow up. Isn't that cool? He watches over us like our parents and loves us. I think. I'm not a Buddha, so I don't know how Buddhas love, okay? Don't ask me. Okay? So, but he will raise us until we grow up and we become adults, that is enlightened, okay? 4th stage Arhat or higher, okay? And the other meaning of Yang is you can tell when Xian is being attacked by the depression ghost, okay, is when her lips go like this. I can't do that because I'm not depressed. I'm not as depressed as she is anymore. You know, Xian, you notice that? That's depression. She being, the depression ghost got her. That's why. I look at her. Okay, so Yang is to care. Okay, so he raises you until you become mature, become enlightened, then he cares for you until you become a Buddha. Bodhisattvas too, enlightened people too, need caring, need to be cared for. Did you know that? You think you become enlightened, that's it? You retire or something? No, you become enlightened and the Buddha now has to take care of you because no one else can. That's the message. After you become enlightened, the Buddhas pay attention to you. Yeah, those are my elder children. Now I need to take care of them. Yeah, you bet. Isn't it cool? If you become enlightened, let me repeat, the Buddhas will take care of you. Now everyone wants to become enlightened. Forget about full lotus, okay? Let's go for enlightenment. Okay, so in the Western Bliss Pure Land, you go there. He will teach you. He teaches you, raises you until you become mature. You become enlightened, and then he takes care of you until you become a Buddha. Yeah, cool. You're all taken care of. All right. So that's why it's highly desirable. It's the best thing that could happen to anyone. Best thing could happen to the people you love. Okay? That's why we practice Chan Pure Land. For those are the reasons. Any questions? Yes, sir. 3.
If one comes back from the Pure Land to save loved ones, is not the danger to retrogress?
I'm sorry?
If one comes back from the Pure Land, is sent to the earth again from Amitabha Buddha, by Amitabha Buddha, is not the danger to retrogress again?
It's not dangerous to what?
To retrogress, to regress.
Retrograde. Regress. There's no retrograde. The nature of Western Bliss Pure Land is that no one regresses anymore. Contrary to here, we regress. I saw my Shishingon disciples regress like crazy. It's pitiful. Enlightened people regressing, what a pity. That's the nature of our world. Okay? It's very dangerous. You never save for a moment. All right? Yes, sir. 4.
Master, when you say regress, you mean that they get caught up in the 3 poisons?
No, regress means that we measure your status, your stature in the universe is based on your samadhi level. You right now, what are you? Some sort of engineer?
I'm an IT manager.
What?
IT manager.
So some sort of manager. Okay? IT manager. IT. Yeah, I know IT. No. I'm not that dumb. I just look dumb. Okay? So in our society, he's a manager. So he's sort of like a, important man. Okay? It means nothing to the real status in the universe. In human realm, in our society, you are someone who has stature, okay? But in the universe, it's based on not your title, based on your samadhi power. So you go by 0 samadhi to first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana. So for example, when the Buddha speaks sutras, the Bodhisattva would come and listen to it like you. They would sit around like this, okay? And you know what? Only the big shots get to sit in front, okay? The smaller bodhisattvas sit all the way back there. Because of their stature is too low, they cannot sit in front. And the gods are standing room only. Way out there. So, yes, this is a hierarchical world based on status. Okay? So, when we talk about regression, okay, in cultivation, regression is you go from one samadhi level, high level, to low level, to lower level, to lower level. Meaning that, did you know that, for example, when you, as an IT manager, okay, you get to see the president. He has higher status than you, yes? Therefore, you have to be respectful towards him, yes? Same thing in our world. If you meet someone of higher status, for example, you meet a bodhisattva, what do? We bow to them. That's how we pay our respects, because they're higher status than us. And when we do that, we create blessings for ourselves. Similarly, when you're polite and respectful to the president, he can bestow favors upon you. Make sure you're not laid off in this round. That's what happens. So regression is that when your offenses, the offenses you create are so heavy, they pull you down, and they pull you down, and they pull you down. That's why. This is why if we create so many offenses amongst us, we get pulled down one rung after another until we fall to the hells. It's not as glamorous as you think. It only looks like nice right now, but at the end of life, it's not, something to look forward to. This is why, all I care for is maybe a red car, enjoy myself until... Never mind. Okay, so that's regression.
Thank you, Master.
You're welcome. Anyone else? No? Okay, then we take a break. And let's come back in 5 minutes and do the lunch offering. Thank you, everyone.